Hello friends. Welcome to our channel Ghost Story. I'm your friend Ratul. Today we are going to share with you a new story. So friends, hope you like our first story and now our second story. My name is Lisa, and I'm a staff nurse. I have been working in hospitals for nearly 10 years. During that time, I've witnessed countless accident victims, heartbreaking deaths, endless tears, and the pain of helpless families. Because of that, I used to believe there was nothing more terrifying in this world than human suffering. But after what happened that night, my belief changed completely. This incident took place about 4 years ago. I was on the night shift that evening. It was around 1:45 a.m. Most of the patients had already fallen asleep. The hospital corridors were silent except for the steady, beep, beep, of the heart monitors and the soft hum of the air conditioning. I was making my usual rounds, checking on the patients one by one. Suddenly, I heard a call bell ringing from an old corridor beside the ICU. Ding, ding, ding. I froze in surprise. That section of the hospital had been closed for several months. There weren't supposed to be any patients there. At first, I assumed it was just an electrical malfunction, so I grabbed my flashlight and walked toward the corridor. The moment I stepped inside, an icy chill ran through my body. It didn't feel like air conditioning, it felt as if freezing air was flowing through the hallway. The white walls looked strangely gray under the dim lights. I slowly walked forward. Then I saw her. At the very end of the corridor stood a woman dressed entirely in white. Her head was lowered, and her long black hair completely covered her face. I assumed she must have been a patient's relative who had accidentally wandered into the restricted area. I called out, "Ma'am, why are you standing here?" There was no reply. I took a few more cautious steps. Suddenly, the corridor lights flickered once, and then went completely dark. A second later, the lights came back on. She was gone. No one was there. My heart began pounding so hard I could hear it. As I turned around to leave, I suddenly heard a slow whisper behind me. "Sister." The voice was so clear that it felt as though someone had whispered directly into my ear. I spun around. There was nobody there. Terrified, I hurried back to the nurse's station. I didn't tell anyone what had happened. I convinced myself that exhaustion from the night shift had caused me to imagine it. Around 3 a.m., I went out again to administer medication. This time, I was standing in front of the elevator. Without anyone pressing the buttons, the elevator suddenly began moving. 3rd floor, 4th floor, 5th floor. Then it slowly came back down. The doors opened. No one was inside. But in one corner of the elevator, I noticed what looked like a set of wet footprints. I stood there, completely frozen. Then I glanced at the mirror inside the elevator. Standing directly behind me was the same woman in white. I instantly turned around. No one. I looked back at the mirror. She had disappeared. My entire body went cold. Without wasting another second, I hurried away. My shift still had several hours left. Around 4 a.m., I entered a patient's room to give medication. Suddenly, the cabin door slowly closed on its own. The windows were shut. There was no wind, yet the curtains were swaying as though someone invisible had just walked past them. As I reached for the doorknob, I heard that same whisper once again. "Don't leave me alone." I didn't wait another second. I threw the door open and ran out as fast as I could. The next morning, I told everything to one of the senior nurses. She remained silent for a moment before saying, "Many years ago, a nurse suddenly fell ill and died while on duty in that old wing of the hospital. Since then, some staff members have claimed to see or hear strange things there. However, none of those stories have ever been proven." Her words sent chills down my spine. Even today, I still don't know whether what I experienced that night was truly something supernatural, or simply the result of exhaustion and fear playing tricks on my mind. But there is one thing I have never forgotten. As I was leaving the hospital at the end of my shift, I caught my reflection in the glass entrance door. For just a few seconds, it looked as though someone dressed in white was standing directly behind me. I immediately turned around. There was no one there. Story submitted by Lisa from Georgia. How did you like this story? If you enjoyed it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and support us. If you've ever experienced something similar, feel free to share your story with me on my Instagram page. You'll find the link in the description box.